Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Teen Shallot, and today we're going to be talking about a new what if that you guys all voted for on the poll yesterday. Yep, I'm going to be talking about this what if. It's amazing and I really have a great spin on it. You guys all loved how dark Vibranium was. Now prepare for a whole new level of dark. Now let's just get into it. From we now span onto the Earth. 80% of the world's population has a quirk, and 20% don't. That was the main timeline, but in this timeline it is different. All women have quirk, and men are treated as trash, mainly used for reproduction purposes. Other than that, all men have regular jobs while women are heroes and seen as a pinnacle of humanity. Many terrorist organizations were created by men and men alone, hating what women have done to society. Many men have banded together and became villains to kill people, even their own wives or children who became heroes, fed up with society. We now go on to our protagonist, Izuku Midoriya. Born without a quirk, quirkless like every other man. Bullied his whole life. Every day he would wake up. His mom was alcoholic and abusive. His dad left. Didn't want to stay with his mom. His mom would always beat him every day until he was bloodied and broken. And she had a healing quirk, so she would heal him and break him again, beat him again every day. Went through abuse. Then came his friend. After his friend got a quirk, Katsumi Bakugo became his worst nightmare. Started going even harder and beating him more than his own mother did. She started exploding him everywhere. He was burned all the time. It was late. He was getting abused every time that he became numb to the pain. But what was the worst was his own sister betraying him. Izumi Midoriya, the number one in the household. He hated her. He hated his sister for what she's been doing to him. Her quirk is able to go past space and time, and she would always take off his fingers one by one and then put them back, letting him go in the pain over and over again every day. This happened to Deku for so long, until it was the final year in junior high. He decided enough was enough. So he wrote a letter saying that what was going to happen, and he said he prayed that he could at least be born at least a woman, so he'd at least have a quirk. And so, took off his shoes, put the note down, and jumped from the roof. Everybody was surprised. There on the ground was a kid, too young to go away. His time was not now. Jumping off due to the depression, having his own mother beat him every day. He just couldn't handle it. Who could? Who would be able to handle such pain? That's for sure. And overall, no one ever did anything about it. His dad became a villain, joined the organization of men who would take down the women. He decided that he would just kill himself. He had no one left in his life. So he jumped. He woke up in a black void. He wondered, where am I? What happened to me? Am I dead? Is this death? Is this what death feels like? Well, it's better than what living was like. It was hell when I was alive. And then a voice suddenly came out of nowhere and said, "Do you wish to get revenge on your enemies?" And Deku said, "Wait, what?" And the voice once more said, "Do you wish to get revenge on your enemies?" And Deku said, "Yes." "Do you wish to get more power? Enough power to be the number one, the best, to show every woman that men are the supremacy?" "Yes." "And are you ready to sell your soul, sell your humanity to kill everyone who stands in your way, even your own family?" "I have no family." And yes. Then rise up once again, Izuku, Midoriya, your new name is John. John, that is your new name. John the Reaper. Get up once more, take hold of that weapon in your hands, and then wake up. Deku saw a strange sword. He took it out of the stone, and he immediately woke up in the hospital room. He knew that he was only 10 years old, 11, 12, and here he was in the hospital after jumping off the roof. He wished so much so that these events had never happened, but he could not get out of his head that he actually tried to kill himself. But he decided that enough was enough. No more mourning, no more sadness. It's time to get revenge. So Deku packed up supplies. He took everything inside the house that he could. Took all the food, all the drinks. His mom was out somewhere on the bar. Maybe with another guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. Izumi came. And he just didn't care anymore. So he got a knife and stabbed her. And put her on the ground. Inside a cupboard. Just so she could bleed out. Izumi was surprised. She never saw this kind of Deku before. He was dangerous. More dangerous than ever before. She was wondering, what have we created? But she decided, but he left again. He left this time, taking everything away from the house. All the food and everything he could muster. He went to the mountains. And then he created a letter that said he died in the mountains. And he was presumed dead after that. Presumed to be dead. Nobody actually cared. It was another man just dying. Nobody even tried to look for this kid. Deku was disgusted. He cannot believe that these people just dare to call themselves heroes and not even care to look for him. They are a disgrace on society. And so, Deku started training for 3 years. It's a 3-year time skip. Deku is seen coming back to his hometown. He sees his apartment complex, and then he hears the news. Turns out, his mom actually died when she found out that Deku died himself as well. She was an alcoholic, so she died. And his sister was taken in by the Bakugo family. Now, Deku's uncle, Bakugo's father, was a villain as well because he could not deal with this woman in his house. So he also left. And he met him along his travels, plotting revenge to kill the two people that ruined their lives. For Deku, it was Bakugo and Midoriya. And for Bakugo's father, I don't remember what his name is, but I'll just call him Sean. Yeah, for Sean, because they changed it. No, for Sean, it was his wife. And they decided to just take revenge. So, what they did next was, they went inside. Deku went inside, and he saw Sean's wife there. And he decided to finally just take revenge. He kidnapped her, tortured her under his basement, kept her there, did so many inhumane things to her. Everything that you could think of, every type of torture that you could think of, he did it. And after all that, he decided that enough was enough. He picked up the sword. She was mentally broken and battered. He picked up the sword and he said, "Sayonara, beep beep," and then he just shot her in the head. And he cut off her head. And he ended that off. After what seemed like even more time, everybody was looking for this woman. And Deku decided, how is she important? What has she done to garner such taking care of? Why does everybody care about her? What has she done for society? Nothing. Which is why I've taken it to my own hands to bring society back to the way it was, where men ruled the world and women were under our feet. And so, Also, no offense to any girls who watch this What If, alright? I'm just trying to make it like realistic when, it's same thing for women. Women wanted, you know, women wanted rights, so men want rights too, but in a more violent way. Alright? So I just hope that none of you get offended. So, Deku, he went up and he met with his Sean. And he said, Sean, I've taken care of it. And when I told you who it was, she looked even more broken. And Sean started laughing. Ah, yes. Good job, John the Reaper. You have made me proud. I proudly call you my son. Thank you, Father. Now they meet up with someone called All for One. This man, he was actually a woman. But she saw justice in his eyes. And so, just to get close to her, Deku got close to her, made it seem like he was interested. But at the end of the day, when she chose him as a successor 2 years ago, 2 years later, he was now 15, 16, okay, just 16, yes. He's 16. And it's been like, I don't know, after the sports festival and everything. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it's before like the anime started. And then Deku says, you really thought I cared. You're just a woman. Lick my boot if you want to live. And she didn't. And so, with your own quirk, I will kill you. Because at the end of the day, we all know who the real villain is. You. And so he just goes it, takes out her heart. And it holds her right in front of her face. And she sees it still beating. And then he crushes it. And then puts it in her own mouth. And then she dies with fear stricken all over her face, knowing that she unwillingly helped the monster that would destroy humanity. So, it was now time for the beginning of the anime. Deku saw the sludge villain attacking a person. He didn't care. He saw All Might after. He's like, wait, where did that skinny woman come from? Was that All Might? Huh. So, a true hero decides to help, while everybody else stood there. They should all just be ashamed of themselves. And then, Deku said, alright. He sees All Might doing everything, then he sees Katsumi Bakugo being attacked by the sludge villain. To say Deku didn't give a shit was an understatement. He didn't give a crap in this shit. He didn't if she died, he wouldn't care whatsoever. So while she was struggling to breathe, struggling to get out, he just started laughing in her face. He's like laughing behind her, he's like, and then he's like, yes, she can finally get her taste of her own medicine. She can finally feel the pain that I felt. And then he saw All Might saving Bakugo. And he's like, I have to take care of that pesky All Might. He's always going to be there to save everybody, so I got to take care of him myself. So they decided to just do it. And then Deku went forward. And he decided to say, hey, hello, my name is Izuku. My name is John the Reaper. Oh, that's a weird name, citizen. And he's right now talking to All Might. He's like, well, it happened, because, I killed myself one time. And, after that, it went downhill. Wait, you killed yourself? That doesn't make sense. You should be dead. I mean, I jumped off the roof. Why did you jump off the roof, citizen? Well, you see, men are treated like animals and treated like crap. So I decided to just end it all after being bullied and abused by my own mother in flesh and blood. And Katsumi Bakugo, that person that you just saved. All Might did not want to believe it, but the way he saw his eyes, he saw the eyes of someone who's seen true malice, true calamity, and true death. Those are the eyes of someone who was scarred from their past. And All Might was scared of those eyes. He knew that if this man became a villain, he'd become one of the most deadliest villains alive. Now, as if you guys all know, Deku has a quirk. It was a quirk that was unconventional by means. Some of you might call it a sacred gear. Some of you might call it a quirk. But in my reality, I call it destiny. Now, Deku had grasped his destiny, the person who would bring order back to society. And he decided that now was a time to make everybody pay. So he prepared the plans, created a bunker, created a base. Only men were allowed in the base. Any woman that came near were dead, buried, and left incinerated inside their incinerator in the base. No women were allowed, it was just men. And now men were just doing everything themselves. And they would treat women the way they have been treated. A lot of these men were abused and attacked by their own wives, their own children. So they decided to just end it all and jumped as well. Deku did not like to see this. So he picked them all up one by one, helped them all out, and gave them a new purpose in life. Now, Deku went and he said, "Alright everybody, it's time. Tomorrow is gonna be the USJ, and we need to be able to attack them all. Alright now, our targets are All Might himself, Katsumi, and Izumi. You guys see them? I want them dead on sight. Is that understood?" And they said, "Yes, sir." And so, he went with them through the portal that Kurogiri created. Like, okay, guys, it's Kurogiri. He came because he killed Shigaraki, and nobody wants to deal with an angry Deku who has master level swordsmanship, amazing hand-to-hand combat, and is one of the most deadliest villains alive. So they decided to just listen to it because he helped them out when they needed it the most. So they basically it was kind of like a debt or a loyalty aid. So they went with him and they arrived in the USJ. They saw Shodi Aizawa, and then she came and she started attacking the villains. Deku personally went in and he said, "It's time for John the Reaper to let it rip." And then he took out his sword and then he went and he started stabbing Shodi Aizawa, and he started slashing and attacking her, but she kept moving around with her scarf, and he went and he got under her, and then he dodged and parried every attack she had with his hands, put his sword away, got around, put energy in his fist from his demonic sword, and he punched her so hard she went to the landslide zone. Deku decided that he was not going to pull punches against these people. They're all women. They don't deserve to live. And so he went forward and without any hesitation whatsoever started attacking and massacring the students. The first one to go down was Shoji. Shoji was the first one to go down. He was stabbed. All of his arms were cut off and beaten down with his own arms. And then came after was Uraraka. Uraraka first went to try to run away, but Deku, no. He made her start overusing her quirk. He studied all these people all their lives, and he decided that now he knows what the quirks were, because he found out who was going to go to Ye, who was not. He knew all their weaknesses, everything. Then he saw he was being attacked by Kazumi. He was wearing a mask. Nobody could see what was on his face. He was wearing a plague mask. And everybody was surprised. They did not know this was a man? These were all men attacking them. They were better than that. No, these men, they don't deserve to be able to fight us. We're the best. We're better than the rest. And no, but that would soon be their downfall. Cause right after that, Deku unleashed his quirk, and he said, "Those of you who stand against me shall be filled with pain. The world shall know pain. You shall know pain. And everyone else, your soul shall feel my pain." So, he went forward and allowed the demonic energy to overtake his body. And he said, "Demonic overdrive!" And then he decided, and he attacked all the students. Then All Might came out of nowhere and started attacking him. It was Deku, John the Reaper versus John the Reaper and the Nomu versus All Might. And All Might was being beaten down hard. Very, very hard. It was a massacre for the USJ. Everybody was getting taken out, beaten up, slashed, attacked, killed. And then all the pro heroes from UA started coming in. And then now the villains were outnumbered, but they went down to the last man. And Deku said, everybody retreat, retreat, we gotta get out of here. And then he turned to the villains and he said, I will take care of All Might. They need their symbol of He's Gone to finally break their hearts. And so he went forward and he started attacking All Might, every UA pro hero and the students, and he was taking them one by one by either stabbing them, cutting off a limb, or even just slicing them, or cutting them right, or just stabbing. He was doing a lot of stabbing, and even using their own quirks against them. So he went forward and he said, this is enough, enough. I will not deal with scum like you. Demonic overdrive times 2. And he went forward and his demonic overdrive went overtime. His blood was pumping. He was getting a bit taller, more buffer, bigger. His whole arm was covered in demonic aura. And he said, he said, demonic overdrive slash of oblivion, and he put it down the slash so hard it even cut dimensions in half, and All Might was killed. Yes, All Might has died, my friends. The number one hero has died. Luckily, she passed on the quirk to Izumi. Now, everybody was scared, frightened on the ground. Their number one hero had just died right in front of their eyes. They did not know what to do. They only knew what thing to do was panic. But we all know that was a mistake. Deku said, look at you all you women think you're higher and mighty than us men. We will take over this land. We will kill you. And at that time, you will realize your mistake for looking down on us all this time. Take this as a warning. Those of you in the students, you may know me, and I know you very well. If you ever try to become a hero once more, I won't hesitate to slice off all your heads and feast on your organs, or kill you with your own quirks. So, all of you stand down right now. And then they're all shaking. The bloodlust binding, the whole bloodlust coming off her was shaking everybody. And they could not even move. Mixed with the fear, everybody fainted. Some from blood loss, some from just scared. From fear itself. And now, that's where I'm going to be ending it off, folks. This was part 0 to What If Deku Was a Villain. I hope you guys all loved this What If. I hope you give more support. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. This is Teen Shallot, out of here.